Hello everyone. Today I'm going to crochet this beautiful flower pot. I'm going to need I will use a 4mm hook, but you can use any hook you feel comfortable with. I will also need a wire. I like to use the gauge 24 wire. If you have the round one, it will be better, but because I don't have the round one for today, I'm going to connect these two wires. When I come to the end, I will have to use it around here at the last round, so that we can have this movement. Like, you can shape it the way you want. And then I'm going to need this short thread, because I need to mark my beginning where I'm starting the row. And I'll also need this needle, the plastic needle, and I will need a pair of scissors. Actually, I'm going to get a small scissors, and today I will use this white yarn. For the inside, so that it will be stable when you put your flowers, you can use there are those nice stones. You can use them at the bottom so that it stays, although now it's staying, but you can use those heavy stones. And then after the stones, you can put in the cotton like this. You put in the cotton on top of the stones, and then you can put your flowers. Now they will attach on the cotton. I am going to start with the magic ring, like that, magic ring, and then I will chain 8 single crochets. I will not count this one as a stitch, the first one. Then I will do 8 single crochets. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'll fasten the yarn, and I will do a slip stitch here, slip stitch, and then I will put my mark. I'll put my marker, this yarn, to mark where I'm going to start, then chain 1. So on this second row, I'm going to do increase on each stitch. So I'm going to do 2 single crochets on each. That is, I start here where I have done my slip stitch. I do 2 single crochets there, 2. Then on the next one I do 2. We do 2 until the end of the row, where we will be having 16 single crochets. We follow this pattern and I will be back right at the end. This is the end of row number 2, where I will be having 16 single crochets. That is the 16th one. I remove my marker and I slip stitch, do a slip stitch, I chain 1, chain 1. Then for this that row, I'm going to do a single crochet and an increase. So this is single crochet, then increase, two single crochets together, then single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. So we follow this pattern until we come to the end of this row number 3. This is now the end of row number 3, and you will notice that every time we start with the single crochets, we have to end with an increase. So this is the end of this row, and I will do an increase of 2 single crochets together, and then I'll remove my marker and I will do a slip stitch, I'll put back my marker and I'll chain 1, so on this is row number 4 now. We are going to do 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets, that is 1, that is on each, 1 on the next, 2, then on the third we do an increase, 1, 2, then 1 single crochet, second single crochet, increase, 1, 2, then increase. So we follow this pattern until the end, and then I will be back. This is the end of row number 4. I will end with an increase, increase, move the marker, slip stitch, and chain 1. Starting with the row number 5, I am going to do 3 single crochets on each and then an increase. That is 1, 2, 3. Then on the 4th we do an increase, repeat again, 1, 2, 3, increase. So we continue with this pattern, and then I will be back. This is now the end of row number 5. I'm ending with an increase, remove the stitch marker, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1. On this row number 6, we are going to do 4 single crochets and an increase. That will be the pattern, but at the beginning we are going to start with the 2 single crochets and an increase, and then we continue with 4 single crochets increase. So this is the first single crochet, second, then we do an increase. From here we continue now with the 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we do an increase. Again we start 1, 2, 3, 4, then increase. We continue with this pattern until the end of this row. This is the end of row number 6. As we started here with the 2 single crochets, we are going to end as well with the 2 single crochets. So I have these 4, then I will do an increase, and then I will do the 2 single crochets. You will notice you'll be having this stitch in between the starting and the end. We are going to be skipping this extra stitch here. So we do a slip stitch. I put the marker and chain 1. On this row number 7, we are going to stitch without increase, and we are going to stitch at the back of row number 6 without increase. So this is the one facing us. We are going to be stitching on this back one here, this one, so we do we knit without the increase until the end of the row. We continue with this single crochet without the increase, and then I will be back. This is the end of row number 7. We do a slip stitch, you will be having something like this. Now we have the bottom of our pot. We put the yarn, the marker, and on this row number 8 we are going to do 7 single crochets and then increase, 7 single crochets and an increase. So we start with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then increase. Again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, increase. We continue with this pattern until the end of this row, and I'll be back. This is the end of row number 8. So I'm ending with an increase. Remove the marker, do a slip stitch, chain 1, on this row number 9, you're going to knit without increase all around, and at the end you should be having a 54 single crochets. This round, no increase, and at the end should be having 54 single crochets. We knit until at the end, and I will be back. This is the end of row number 9, and I'm now having a 54 single crochets. 54 single crochets. We do a slip stitch, and then we chain 1, put the marker, chain 1. Starting with the row number 10, we are going to do 8 single crochets, then increase. But to start with, we are going to do to start with the 4 single crochets. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do an increase, 1, 2, and we will follow now with the 8 single crochets. This will be the pattern all around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we do an increase, 1, 2. So we follow this pattern until we come here almost at the end, and I will show you what I will finish here at the end. I am now almost at the end of row number 10. I'm done with these 8 single crochets. I will do an increase, then I will finish with the 4 single crochets as I started with the 4 single crochets, and do a remove my marker and do a slip stitch. Then I will put my marker back. And I will chain 1. Now starting with the row number 11, I'm going to knit without increase. I'm going to knit without increase until at the end of this row number 11. That is 1. So no increase until the end of the row. So we finish this row, and then I will be back at the end. This is now the end of row number 11. Row number 11. You will notice that you have now 60 single crochets. We do a slip stitch. Put the marker, and now we are going to start with row number 12. We are going to do 9 single crochets and an increase. That is 9 single crochets and an increase. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then an increase. We continue with this pattern until at the end of the row, and I will be back. This is the end of row number 12. Do a slip stitch. Then we chain 1. On row number 13, we are going to chain without increase, and at the end we should be having 66 single crochets. We continue with this row until at the end to have 66 single crochets. This is the end of row number 13, and I'm now having 66 single crochets. Remove the marker, slip stitch. On row number 14, I'm going to do 10 single crochets and an increase. We chain 1 here, so 10 single crochets and an increase, but to start with I will do 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I will continue with the 10 single crochets and an increase. What will happen when we come until here at the end, we should also end with the 5 single crochets. So these are the 5 at the beginning. Then we do an increase. And then we continue now with the 10 single crochets. This will be the pattern all around. is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then an increase. Continue with this pattern until at the end. This is now the end of row number 14, ending with 5 single crochets. Then I'm going to do a slip stitch, chain 1, slip stitch, put our marker, and chain 1. So from here I am going to chain 8 rows without increase. That is row number 15, number 16, number 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 and 22. 8 rows from here. There will be no increase on any row. I will do the 8 rows and then I will be back after my 8th row. Single crochets without any increase. This is the end of the 22nd row. The pot has started forming the shape. We do a slip stitch, chain 1, and we put the marker on this row of 23rd. We are going to do 10 single crochets and a decrease. We will start now with the decreasing, but to start with, I'll start with the 5 single crochets and a decrease, and then I will follow with the 10 single crochets, decrease. That will be the pattern of 10 single crochets and a decrease. And since I'll start with the 5 single crochets and decrease, it will happen also at the end. We will have to end with the 5 single crochets. So to start with, I will chain 5. I will do 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I will take 2 like this, go through, and then remove it. Then I will do I will continue now with the 10. So I will do 10 single crochets. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Then we take these two of them, 1, 2. Then we go through, that's a decrease, we make them 1, then single crochets. Again we do 10 and then a decrease. We continue with this pattern, and then I will be back when I'm almost to finish this row. I'm at the end of row number 23. These are the 5 single crochets left here. There is 2, 3, 4, 5. We do a slip stitch, chain 1. The following row number 24, we are going to stitch without a decrease or increase, and we do it single crochets without increase or decrease. We continue with this row and I'll be back. This is the end of row number 24. By now we should be having 66 single crochets. We do a slip stitch, chain 1, put back the marker, starting with the row number 25. We will be doing 9 single crochets and a decrease. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then a decrease, and then we continue 9 single crochets and a decrease. We do it until at the end of this row, and then I will be back. This is the end of row number 25. We end with a decrease, then we do a slip stitch, chain 1, put back the marker, and starting with the row number 26, we are going to do 8 single crochets and a decrease. That will be the pattern, 8 single crochets and a decrease. But to start with, we are going to start with the 4 single crochets, a decrease, then we continue with the pattern of 8 single crochets and a decrease. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do a decrease, then we from here we will do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then a decrease. We continue with this pattern of 8 single crochets and a decrease until the end of this row. When we are here at the end, we should be ending with the 4 single crochets as we started here. This is the end of row number 26. We end with the 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do a slip stitch and chain 1. Starting with the row number 27, we are going to knit without decreasing. This row number 27, there will be no decrease. We continue with this row until the end, and I will be back. This is now the end of row number 27. There was no decrease. We do a slip stitch, chain 1, we put back the marker, row number 28, we are going to do 7 single crochets and a decrease. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then a decrease. 1, 2. Then we do again 7 single crochets and a decrease. We continue with this pattern until the end of this row. This is the end of row number 28. We end with a decrease and chain 1. On row number 29, we are going to do 6 single crochets and a decrease, but to start with, we are going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then we do a decrease, and then we continue with the 6 single crochets and a decrease. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we do a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do a decrease. So we continue with this pattern until at the end of this row, where we are going to finish with the 3 single crochets. This is the end of row number 29. we will finish with the 3 single crochets. That is 1, 2, 3. We do a slip stitch, chain 1, then at the row number 30 we are going to do 5 single crochets and a decrease. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we do a decrease, then we do again. So we repeat this pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a decrease, then we continue with the 5 decrease until at the end of this row. At the end of row number 30, I'm going to end with a decrease, and we do a slip stitch, chain 1, so with the row number 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, we will knit without a decrease or increase. And to me, I like to do 10 rows. You can do 5 rows. I like to do 10 rows without increase because I like this neck to be a bit longer for me. If I do 5 rows here, it will be short until here, but I like it little longer. So you can do 5, and I like to do it with 10 single crochets. So we start here without increase. I will do 10 rows, and then I will be back when the 10 rows are finished without increase. This is now the end of 10 single crochets without increase. You can do 5 or you can do 10. So I went with the 10. This is the end of it. Chain 1, then as I did 10, this is the row number 40 I just finished. I'm going now to start with the row number 41, and I'm going to do 2 single crochets on each and then an increase. I will do 1, this is the first one, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, then an increase. We repeat this pattern until at the end there is 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and an increase. we continue like this until at the end of this row. This is the end of row number 41. We end with an increase, slip stitch, chain 1, put the marker, starting with the row number 42. We are going to do 3 single crochets and then increase. That is 1, 2, 3, then increase, do again 1, 2, 3, increase. So we continue with this pattern until at the end of this row. This is the end of row number 42. 1, 2, 3. Then we end with an increase, slip stitch, chain 1, and row number 43 we are going to do 4 single crochets and an increase. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, then increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. We continue with this pattern until at the end of this row. This is the end of row number 43. We end with an increase, remember we are always skipping this row in between the beginning and the end, and then we do a slip stitch, chain 1, put the marker. Starting with the row number 44, we are going to do 5 single crochets and an increase. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then increase, do again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase. So we continue with this pattern until at the end of this row. Row number 44, again we end with an increase, we slip stitch, chain 1, put the marker back. On row number 45 we are going to do 6 single crochets and an increase. That is 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, increase, 6 increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 increase. So we continue with this pattern until at the end of this row. This is the end of row number 45. Again we end with an increase, and we do a slip stitch, chain 1, we put back the marker. Row number 46, we are going to do 7 single crochets and an increase. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then an increase, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, increase. So we continue with this pattern of 7 single crochets and increase until the end of this row. This is the end of row number 46. Again we end with an increase, then we do a slip stitch, we chain 1. Row number 47, we are going to do 8 single crochets and an increase. Those are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, increase. So we continue with the pattern of 8 single crochets and an increase. Again, this is the end of row number 47. We finish with an increase. We remove the stitch, we remove the marker and a slip stitch, chain 1, will be the last row, row number 48. We are going to do 9 single crochets and an increase. At this point I'm going to insert a wire, and since I don't have the long wire, I'm going to connect these 2 wires. At the beginning I had shown the green wire, but I've seen this white wire will match this white flower pot. Yeah, make sure it's nice and smooth. Then I will insert the wire there, and I will chain one, I put my marker, and then I'm going to do 9 single crochets and an increase. So I will be holding the wire on the back side like this. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then I will do an increase, and then again I will repeat 9 single crochets, so 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then another increase. So we continue with this pattern until at the end of this row. This is the last row, end of row number 48. We end with an increase, then we slip stitch, and chain 1, then we cut the yarn, so this is the end of our flower pot. At the end here, I use this plastic needle to hide the yarn like this. Then we cut the end. This our flower pot now. It's finished, and you can shape it the anyhow you want. And then we can put, after putting like stones or something heavy at the bottom, add cotton yarn at the top, and the thicker the yarn, the bigger the pot looks. Like this one, it looks a bit bigger than the white one, but the stitching are the same. The rounds I have used are the same. It's only that this yarn is a bit thicker than this one. Thank you for watching from beginning to the end. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know at the comment section how you see my flower pot. If you like my video, please consider subscribing and turn on the notification bell to be notified of my next video. See you later.